And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentleman of Crypto, episode 1258. Today is Monday, December 2nd, 2024, and I'm King here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 10ish. And I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving last week. It was a holiday week, so I was out Thursday and Friday, but we are back again at it. Top stories of the day, only a few, but powerful. XRP returns to third largest crypto after 4-year battle with SEC. Excuse me. WisdomTree officially files S1 for spot XRP ETF, and Brazil proposes to ban stablecoin withdrawals to self-custodial wallets. That and a little bit more, but first and foremost, let's go ahead and take a quick look at these prices. All right. Coming in hot. Bitcoin is sideways at 100K, essentially still at $96,345, down 1%. Number two, Ethereum at $3,641, down 1.87%. The biggest winner of the freaking week, XRP. I won't lie. I know some people jumped out a bit early, but it made a nice little swing. $2.66 has reclaimed the number three spot, up 39.81%. The last 24 hours, 91% on the week. Solana, number 5, $225, down 5%. Number 7, Dogecoin at 42 cents, down 0.9. Number 9, Cardano at $1.14, up 7.29%. And 10, Avalanche, $48.68, up 10%. Fear and Greed Index is at an 80. Bitcoin dominance, 55.46. So that slipped a little bit as these altcoins have taken off. Ethereum dominance at a 12.83%. And those are your prices on the day. And really quick, want to make a quick announcement before we get rolling. I give these shout outs as well. I want to give a special shout out and our condolences from the show and blessings and prayers go out to the Simon family, of course, to Aaron Simon, who's now leading that family. Gordon, who was one of our, great content creators with his wife here on the channel, Simon Family Ventures. They've done over 200 episodes. He did pass away a couple weeks ago. If you got a chance to see the video this weekend, she streamed this weekend. She's continuing to stream in honor of his legacy. But she streamed this weekend with her sons in honor of him. A lot of people called him from everywhere. I saw people in the chat literally from like Wales, New Zealand. So it was amazing to see how many people he touched. Shout out to Simon Gordon. He was an Air. We always call people their last name. He was an Air Force veteran as well, as Aaron pointed out. Firefighter, man, had jobs everywhere. And of course, he is Bitcoin's and crypto's first family, like entire family that's been involved in crypto. Him and his wife were involved in it. They got their kids involved in it. They moved themselves to Mexico. They traveled as a family to El Salvador, to Brazil, which we'll be talking about today, or not to Brazil, to El Salvador, to travel to that Bitcoin beach when it first opened. So they've been all around. If you want to honor him, make sure you check out that episode titled Celebrating the Life and Times of Gordon Simon. Great man. It seems that he was a great husband and father as well, and definitely a great person in this space. So someone to remember, not only for him himself, but his contributions to the crypto community. Again, this is officially the first family in crypto. His kids have been on Bitcoin and stuff. So it's amazing to see a whole family was able to accomplish that in this short amount of time. And as Bitcoin finally touches the 100K, is just, to me, was a nod to Gordon that he was in the right direction. So shout out to Gordon Simon. Rest in peace. You will truly be missed, and we definitely going to keep it alive for you here on the channel as well, to his untimely passing. So make sure you send your well wishes and prayers, and check out that video if you all can. All right, really quick, want to give some shout outs in the comment section before we get this show rolling. Again, not too much news, kind of short. Ripple's going to be the talk of the town. Satoshi Slim, what up, though? BK Crypto, Junior Maley, Chloe Dior, Trey Francis, Janine Hayes, Trey Madden, or Ty Madden, pardon me, Jasmine B, Dion Smith, Akibla, Hybe, and Jump Out Girls. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome back to the show. Couple of last announcement for a lot of updates when it comes to the creatives and stuff. They will be changing this week. I kind of gave you all a heads up. Some things will be changing. I've been working super diligently on the back end, doing stuff which is taking me way longer than I thought because I had to research a ton of new websites and platforms and everything else. I'm going to be migrating stuff to. So again, expect to see those changes. They will not probably. They're going to be coming aggressively this week. So if you start seeing new things pop up, new names and stuff like that, just know that this is me telling you right now, it's gonna be a lot of changes this week. So yeah, shout out to you all for that. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. As I said, XRP. I mean, woo! Listen, I really want to tell you, but I can't tell you. So I just gotta say the things I gotta say the way I have to say. You gotta, if I were to own XRP, I would have said even myself would have probably sold it too early last week. All right, you got to know when to take the dubs. When you get like a 30% or 40% or whatever, it's like whatever. Like this is a good W or whatever, especially when you're jumping in and out of projects or whatever, right? But you all know I don't do that type of stuff. But for those who did, I understand. But I feel you. I saw it yesterday and today, and it's crazy. Someone asked me about XRP. Like Saturday night, somebody texted me asking me about XRP or whatever. And I told him, I was like, no, it's still a buy. I mean, I'm like, if you're trying to get cash, it's a buy. I was like, if you're trying to get more Bitcoin, then, long term, it wouldn't suffice. But if you just want cash, I'm like, you're good into January 20th after Gary Gensler comes in. I think it might be a quick short sale or whatever. And then, slow growth. So I was like, you're good to buy, and it's crazy. I'm giving the advice after I know people who may have pulled out after that amazing gains last week. And I'm still like, no, you can go in if you want. It's going to be good. Talking about following your own advice, but XRP is on a tear right now. They have reclaimed the third largest crypto spot at their 4-year battle with the SEC. And again, shout out to them. I'm with it because the SEC overstepped their bounds. They were in the wrong. And all I ask for every crypto company to do as far as self-regulation is to stand up and fight back. Now, it's one thing if you're a scammer or you're doing something wrong in this space. Like, of course, you deserve what you're going to get. But if you have a good project and you're not doing anything wrong and you've been clear with your community and supporters and everything else, and then the SEC comes after you or something, like, it's like, no. So I was happy to see XRP say, no, we're going to fight this thing back. It took them 4 years, but guess what? I guarantee you they save not millions, but billions of dollars. Again, I can only highlight Binance that's paying like a $4.6 billion fine to the American government. That is just, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. Like with that amount of money, you can start a small country or organizational market. With that type of money, you can tie up the United States government litigation for the next 10 to 12 years, at least, like minimum. And instead you just give it up. That's how I know there's more things that play in the background. But I appreciate XRP for fighting that fight and saying, no, we didn't do anything wrong. We're gonna keep, we're gonna keep doing the right thing. We're gonna fight back. Jake said XRP on some Forrest Gump-ish. This ain't nothing but shorts getting smashed. And remainder December 4th sell news event for XRP. Reminder, December 4th is a sell news event for XRP for sure. Hyman said, I sold XRP the day they partially won the lawsuit, 800 in one day. So yeah, you get what I'm saying. Hyman know what's up. Listen, when I saw that lawsuit news, I was like, if you got any loose chains laying around, and again, this is the power of crypto, people. For example, let's say you have a wallet that is even linked to an email address. I don't think it's linked to an email address, right? But let's say you have a wallet that's linked to a burner email address on Proton Mail or something, right? Something that's encrypted. No one can figure out who it is. They can't figure out your IP address if you're not using VPN. That's only if you care that much, which you're not doing nothing super illegal. You're not moving that much money. It really doesn't matter. They're not about to come after you because it's like, you made this $400 transaction. You made 200 here. They won't come after you with that. But when you start getting, it's like, 20, 30, 40K, it raises eyes, and anything after like 90 to 100, 150K, you're definitely going to start getting some flags. But I say all that to say, yes, we have the power now when it comes to XRP. Last week, like Hyben said, even if you heard about I saw the news of the lawsuit that morning, but it was like crack of dawn, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. type deal, whatever, when I saw the news of it. And like, my mind was already, moving, telling people like, hey, if you have that little bit of one of these little wallets, just swap it over to XRP and let it ride at least until the morning bell, right? Let it ride until at least lunchtime. And if you were to do that same day, I off the top of my head, but I think it was at least like a 30% gain. So whatever money you have, you just swap it into that and it goes up 30%. That's one of those easy ones where it's just fundamental, where it's like, it's about to pump up this news. And then like Hyben said, by the time they win it, you sell it the same day, the next day, a few days later or whatever. I think I knew a couple of people who stayed in for like 48 to 72 hours max. and was in and out, right? So whatever you get, you got. But again, I did not expect this to pump the way it did. Like Jake said, reminder, December 4th. This is the up. This is the pump for that before the sale news. But again, it is officially the third largest coin by crypto market cap. And you know what? Oh, wow. And the number of XRP Google searches breaking above crypto. A couple things about that. It is actually interesting. Like I said, people were hitting me about the blue about XRP. The community and the staying power is crazy. It's crazy. I gotta say it. I thought it would happen slower based on Bitcoin, but now that Bitcoin's at its price point, and this is gonna be crazy because it is doubling the market cap. So you're like, wait, you're not. They can damn near double the market. Well, it's already happening. It's not even double no more. Crypto or XRP could definitely reach $5. It definitely can reach $5, especially if Bitcoin slows down right now. We go sideways for a month or two, and it does become like a mini altcoin season when you start to see that capital flow there. It definitely can hit. I mean, again, that's double the market cap right now. So where will this come? Well, we have to assume, which we'll be talking about here today with ETFs too, but we also have to assume XRP and Ripple in general, their movements have been constricted because of the SEC. Think about how much money and time and resources they were pumping into that. The stress he probably, Brad Garlington was getting from that. So now that this is really off their back and Trump is about to come in, he's saying pro crypto. I mean, who knows? They could have all types of business. I can tell you for a fact myself. This is why when I look at this market, I kind of know these things from almost anecdotal and just from experience. I'm just turning the faucet back on as far as like business. I've still been doing consultations in the back, but as far as forward-facing sponsorships and business stuff, I'm really turning the faucet on, doing stuff on the back end, and the requests are coming in. It's a ridiculous rate. So I can only imagine XRP and what they already have with the community and capital. Like what they've probably been waiting to turn the faucet back on. So all looks good when it comes to that. It's crazy again that they're getting more Google searches than even the word crypto, but they are officially back. They dropped out of the top 3. Oh, that's what I was say. Last but not least about that, I was like, there's one more thing I want to make. Another last point I want to make about that is shout out to them because not many cryptocurrencies can leave the top 10 and come back, much less the top 5 and come back. So XRP has been one that has been around officially now. OG status is here, and it's crazy too. I've been here too long because I remember when it was still new and it wasn't OG or whatever, but now it's officially OG status. You know, double OG. They beat the SEC. Double OG. Not gold, but it's almost as good as silver, people, for the time being. And until the future as well. As long as they keep their platform going. Is it going to be better than Bitcoin? No. Is it going to be better than crypto overall? No, but it is going to be a competitor in the market for sure. So again, with the SEC's lawsuit nearing resolution and Ripple achieving several legal victories in 2024, XRP has rallied, posting a massive spike in November after Donald Trump victory in the U.S. presidential election. Looking at the price at 270. If you remember, this thing was slipping and sliding 4 years as the 7th biggest coin. Once the SEC sued Ripple in December of 2020, the coin fell from around 50 cents to 17 cents. However, at the all-time high, I believe it's like at $3 or some change. So it had already slipped. So it's not like we can just blame the SEC for slipping. It was overvalued at one point. The SEC just came to finish it off. That's what they were hoping to do. The SEC was like, all right, the market didn't toss you upside down. Now we're going to come for the death blow. So again, to see that $15 billion wiped out market value back in December of 2020, to drop to the 7th spot, shout out to them to even maintain the top 10, to fight for 4 years, and then to come back at the number 3 spot. Plus, what we'll be talking about next, they're talking about ETFs, which we mentioned a week ago. Like that's become official now that they're trying to do this. It is getting crazy. And as it says here, is more popular than crypto. XRP is more popular than crypto. I would say this, people. I would not underestimate the market community. The market communities, the communities of markets, the XRP market community in this space. All right. In this space, we've seen a ton of different projects, and you can never underestimate their community. And the reason why is because, yes, just 270, all it takes is for one wild person who's like a XRP maxi to come out and say, Ripple to $10 and be like, I'm throwing in another 200 million myself. What? People will get to rolling with that narrative and say, it's going to 10. I'm throwing my life savings in. Word of mouth. All you need is for a bunch of retail to start throwing in their life savings and get one or two little small to mid-sized wealth institutions to throw a portfolio in there as well. And boom, market cap has doubled, if not tripled. Sounds crazy on the surface when you actually look at numbers and trajectories and what should and shouldn't happen. However, when you look at its previous all-time high and what the market conditions for that were, I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say the previous all-time high. Was it 2017 when that happened? Yeah, they missed the 2021 cycle. So yeah, their previous all-time high was 2017. That was the year Bitcoin went from $1,000 to about $19,000 to $1,800. And Ripple managed to get $3 and say 30 cents, $3.30 probably, right? And that was after CNBC and all these other people had pumped it and was calling for it or whatever. I thought it was overvalued then, but now you're talking Bitcoin has 5 times the market cap. This when Bitcoin was at 19.8, 19.6, something like that. And I don't even think Bitcoin is at its all-time high when XRP reached its all-time high simultaneously. Bitcoin could have actually been like 16 or 17, and Ripple just happened to, after the altcoin season, Bitcoin dies down, altcoins pump. It could have been one of those things. But my point is, it was around, let's say, $20K to $3. All right. $3 is at $20K. Bitcoin is 5 times that value now at $100K. There's more market certainty as far as the path forward with the president coming in who's supposed to be pro Bitcoin and crypto, and they have a bigger community, and they just beat the SEC. Like, it's not far-fetched to say, hey, at 20K Bitcoin, it was a $3 XRP. At a 90 to 100K Bitcoin, I'm not even going to times 5 it. I'll times 4 it. $12. Like, and this is where I like, again, it doesn't make sense. I know from a financial perspective, like, I'm not dumb, people. From financial perspective, from traditional perspective, just by the numbers, is like, do you understand how the market cap would need to grow? And traditionally, people will say, well, how would this market cap grow? Are you opening up stores? Are there going to be POS systems? Are you doing educational movements where you're sponsoring things and funding things to get the education out? Like, there in the traditional sector, it would have to be like a way forward. Like, how would you explain this happening? In this sector, it doesn't work like that. Market fervor, if the person who wants to get rich quick, the person looking like a genius next to them, like, that drives decisions. And people are doing things like, hey, I'll double mortgage my house for XRP right now. Like, if people knew this was going to go like this past few days, if this would have been the talk of the town, if YouTubers and other people were like, man, XRP still got another crazy pumping in this week. No one really knew it, but if people were like, it's got a crazy pumping in this week, people would have doubled down and put everything on the line. Everything on the line. We would have had those stories of just got to refinance my house. Like, I'm doing it for all my credit cards. We would have had those stories. So again, it wouldn't surprise me. Like Jake said, I think we could see a short sale anytime now. We should, but it just wouldn't surprise me to see it go crazy only because of what we've seen in this market. So with that being said, not going to go in super detail because I mentioned it, but last week about XRP ETFs, but it's official. WisdomTree officially files S1 for spot XRP ETF. Spot Bitcoin ETF provider WisdomTree became the 4th firm in the U.S. to submit a Form S1 filing with the SEC for a spot XRP ETF. Again, WisdomTree is one of the first companies to issue a spot Bitcoin ETF as well. I think that's important to note because these are the same people who are coming around for this one, and they're the 4th one to actually file, which means it's probably going to happen. On the corporate side, they probably already know about it, which is why the money's getting pumped into it. And the reason why I say that, well, you know what? It's hit or miss. I actually said it last week, I believe, when I was talking about this, that even if it did not happen, just to market it like it was going to happen would be great because that's how they get capital to come in. Like, oh yeah, we're going to do XRP ETF. It's like whether it happens or not, XRP is going to pump because you got more people interested. So just that play is a good play to pump it. But the likelihood of it actually happening, I mean, you got 4 main players in there already. Like WisdomTree just had to convince BlackRock. If somebody can convince BlackRock, it's going through. So again, who knows if it will fully go through, but just the fact that it's a talk of the town and it's a chance of it happening is enough to make it pamp. So we shall see what happens with it. Let's see. Jake, thank you, my man. Jake Fever said 2018, it was $3.74 when Bitcoin dipped. It was an altcoin run ending. It flipped Bitcoin for like a day. Okay, there we go. All right. And he's talking about the pumps, not the Bitcoin price. He's saying Let's say Bitcoin dropped however many percent in one day and XRP went up and boom. All right, so appreciate that. Bird Time Music Group is saying 384. So yeah, about 370, 380. Okay, and that's when Bitcoin had dipped. So let's say Bitcoin is probably 16K off the top of my head type of deal. So like I said, we're at 97K. They just beat a case. Whew, it should have been that high to begin with, which makes it kind of weird. But again, Dogecoin should not be in the top 10 either. And here we are. Hyben, XRP still has competition with CBDC, stablecoins, and Brad will sell soon. I agree with you. I would think that's a smart thing to do, unless he's like Mark Zuckerberg, he's going to double down. I would think he would sell soon as well, like he did previously. A, B, I'm with you, but I kind of disagree only because like that was my analysis back in 2017 or something when Ripple was getting popular. Was it 2016 or 2017? I was just like, I don't see it lasting past 3, 4, 5 years because I thought, again, at that time, I thought we had mass adoption, but I was like, the government will have CBDCs by then. Like, or my whole thing was whenever the CBDCs start, which once again, you remember you all saw that first here on this channel. I was like, once that starts, then yeah, XRP is over with. That was my thought process. But now, especially because it's a different game when you beat the federal government, people. You get put in a different class, right? They're now in a class where with even foreign countries now, where they can go to a foreign country that's not as put together as America and say, we for sure can get this rolling, and there's nothing your government can do about it. We beat America's government. We can definitely beat your government in court. And all you have to do is have an interesting political party or organization with enough capital to be like, I'm ready to flip this thing. Like it was already happening in the countries. We've seen it happen in the past through other means. This is just happening from a financial one. So I would say they're not done only because of that. But will he sell? If he's smart, he'll sell, or as somebody mentioned the other day, go public. There's so many options. You can sell, you can go public. They can keep pressing down on the gas, which again, I wouldn't want to do. But they have a lot of different options. XRP has been top 10 since inception. It's just catching back up to where it should have been. Listen, who would have thought though? Who would have thought? Tornado Cash and Helium Mobile pumping, right? Tornado Cash because of the they let the guy go. Yeah, they let the guy go. And of course, the appeals court came back and said that he should have even been, went after the same way. So that's pumping for last week. And hell to no. Keyblan says, someone told me XRP will flip Bitcoin's market cap. Those are the people who don't know what they're talking about. They hope and wish it can flip its market cap so that they could become the number one. But that's like something that every altcoin has said since their inception. Like that's why every altcoin gets made. They're just like, oh yeah, we can flip Bitcoin. No. You need XRP to use anything on the XRPL. It's its own gas. Yep, for sure. All right, last but not least, Brazil is in the news, but unfortunately, it's not a great news story. Brazil proposes to ban stablecoin withdrawals to self-custodial wallets. This was an important story to me because you have to be on the lookout for what is going to come next in America. You got to remember, the American government plays the long game, not the short. And what I mean, and this is what I always talk about when I say the left and the right, whether we got Kamala or Trump, we are going to get the same government. Like maybe somebody will talk to you nicer. Maybe you'll have a different girl twerking at a national convention. I don't know. But my point is the government is going to be the government. And when it comes to big things, big, broad things of American government, which is why I don't think the average citizen should be voting for the president because you all don't even consider geopolitics oftentimes. But on the broad level of the federal government, we're going to continue to do things like bombing other countries, whether it's Kamala or Trump, red or blue. We're going to continue to bomb other countries. That's happening. Military going to be deployed. Why? Because historically, and everyone knows, you can't keep your warriors at home because they'll start fighting. So we got to export that violence. So that's going to happen. Second thing that's going to happen is the financial stuff, right? National security, the economy, economics. When it comes to crypto and stuff, I expect to see the same thing where Trump is, yeah, Bitcoin, crypto, open the floodgates here, point of sale systems here, accept it here, do this here. Expect the next president to say, gotcha. Hey, now that we got it, you're not allowed to do it to your private wallet anymore. Now that we got you, you can only use these stable coins. Now that we do this, no, only CBDCs here. Expect this to happen. I guarantee you. If he opens up this lid and it's a wild, wild west for the next 4 years, This is the government being the government, tricking the population. So we can say, oh, the Republicans and conservatives and Trump were great with crypto. Now we get in this other party, or maybe the same party with a different person. We're going to act mad and everybody going crazy. But the reality is, it's the federal government saying, oh, we just want, this is the honeypot years. Now, here's the good thing about all that. During these honeypot years, if we all do this right the next few years, we should be able to walk away from this thing, all right? We should be able to walk away for the next one, come in and say, you're not allowed to send crypto or CBDCs to your private wallets, right? Like, you should be able to walk away by then. But you better believe this is coming. This is the testing ground. A place like Brazil and the Americas and the Russias and the Indias and everyone else, the Chinas of the world, the large powers and players are definitely going to be looking at this. And this is the thing that worries me. This is the honeypot. Brazil, the second largest market for stablecoin transactions. Again, this is how they do you. This is really quick. Uber Eats. So shout out to Uber Eats. I've been on Uber. It's really for the most part since it started in California. Like, I was on Uber super early. I've told the story before. My friends used to come see me in San Diego, and they'd be like, "Oh, bro got a private driver." They were like going back home and said, like, "Yo, bro is in California with a private driver." I'm like, "Man, it's Uber." And they like, "Uber." Like, shout out to Al-Keeblan. I'm gonna get Al-Keeblan on here live one day. He'll tell you this story. When I was back in Detroit one time on the east side, I tried to send him an Uber to come meet me somewhere. I sent him a nice SUV and everything. He was like, "Man, I thought you was coming over here." I was like, "No, I'm sitting in the car to pick you up." He was like, "That's not you in the car outside?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Oh, hell no." I was like, "Man, you don't hop in the car." He said, "No, we don't do that Uber here. But you back on the east side. We ain't doing that Uber." So my point was, I've been in Uber for forever. And right now, I'm messing with Uber Eats, the groceries. So I used to do Amazon groceries and everything else. For those who don't know, I'm like super teched out. I get my groceries delivered. It saves time, energy, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing it to be prissy. And actually, it saves money. A lot of people see me do this type of tech stuff in these services, and they think like I'm spending so much money. Well, there's a competition for volume and with all these new tech companies. And especially when it comes to things like groceries. And back in the day, when it came to Uber, same thing. It was like, it wasn't even a tipping option when Uber first came out. That's why this whole drivers wanting tips to me. I'm like, bro, when this started, it was like college kids getting paid by the company, and that was it. Like, just because it transformed and they stopped paying y'all didn't fight back, and now you want tips, don't mean how for the OGs ain't how it started. But I'm gonna wrap it up. But the point is, when they started, they just wanted volume. So there was no tipping. Every car was a black car. Everything was good. Of course, as the years went on, they said, well, we're going to do Uber X. We're going to do Uber Premium, blah, blah, blah. And then you start losing privileges, and it costs more for everyone. It costs more for the drivers who aren't getting tipped, and it costs more for the end user who's getting like service fees and trip fees out of the blue, right? Move on to the groceries now. Amazon groceries have been great as well. To order off Amazon, about a year or two ago, they started raising their price and everything else. Now they have a lot of customers. When I started with them, it was like, people, at least 25% off all your groceries. Now I'm using Uber to get my groceries. Every 4 to 6 weeks, about the same time you need groceries, they're having anywhere from 40 to 60% off groceries. It literally doesn't make sense not to get them delivered from them. I've done it now. It's like $210 worth of groceries. It costs me like $95 or something sometimes. It is absolutely insane right now. So my point is this is how all these companies, like, this is the script. They front load you in to get you in. Then once you're there, then they're like, oh, gotcha. I'm sure by next year, Uber groceries would be pretty expensive for me, and I'll stop using the service, and I'll look for the next one to migrate to. Of course, they're hoping they keep you on the same platform and service, and you don't migrate. This is the same thing with the stable coins in the crypto environment, people. It's not different, and it's still technology. It's still in the same actual vertical. It's in the tech stack. This is the same thing. Get volume, get users, get people to use stable coins. Fine. Bitcoin's taking over. Get your citizens on Bitcoin. Get them on the CBDCs. Get them all this. Yeah, woo, Dogecoin. Yeah, we're going to do Doge government thing. Ha, ha, he. We're going to get you on. And then they're going to say, hey, you can't put it in your private wallet. You can only do ours. Hey, you can't spend it for this. Hey, did you vote for this person? Like, this is where the slippery slope starts at, especially when it comes to digital stuff, because again, this stuff is even more traceable than cash is. So, again, Brazil, the second largest market for stablecoin transactions, may ban stablecoin withdrawals to self-custodial wallets like MetaMask. On the surface, I want to say this will not work, especially as you get a community of more educated Bitcoiners and crypto folks. They kind of see like, wait, why would I not want it on my own private wallet? So I don't think it will work. but we've seen crazier things. But Brazil is considering a ban on stablecoin withdrawals to self-custodial wallets, coinciding with the Brazilian real hitting all-time lows against the US dollar. This also goes back to Trek. Shout out to Trek. He's been talking about capital flight withdrawals in various countries throughout the years. For those who don't know what that is, essentially, I would say he's been calling this because back in 2018, he started talking about 2019, but he was essentially saying that, hey, the reason why China was trying to ban the Bitcoin mining, and even the US and stuff, they're trying to figure out and control where everyone's putting their money and to ensure that money doesn't leave its system. The United States don't want its American citizens say, I'm going to take my entire portfolio and move to China or Russia or somewhere we don't do business. Or even move. They wouldn't want that, nor does any of these other countries. So to me, this is kind of just mirroring that capital flight control. They're saying, fine, we'll give you digital payments, we'll give you crypto, we'll give you CBDCs, but you are not allowed to leave our network with it. Right now, it starts as a ban. Later, it ends as a law where they say, hey, if we find out you move crypto or CBDCs from this network to a foreign network or a private wallet, that's against the law. This will be a slippery slope. On November 29th, Banco Central do Brazil, BCB, the Central Bank of Brazil, issued a proposal to ban transfers on stablecoins like Tether's USDT. You can't even do Tether? Wow. I didn't think it was going to go that far. That's crazy to ban transfers of stablecoins like Tether USDT to sell custodial wallets like MetaMask. The proposal is part of a draft regulation and is subject to public consultation until February 28, 2025. Okay. The provider of virtual asset services is prohibited from transferring virtual assets denominated in foreign currency. What I just say? Foreign currency to a self-custodial portfolio, the proposal states. What I'd say is the foreign part. I didn't even read the article. This is why it's always funny to me. I don't even be reading the articles. I just look at the headlines. I already be knowing, like, foreign. Here's the thing. First, if a government really cared, they wouldn't try to restrict the movement of capital. They would fix their capital. They're saying the reason why we're doing this is because our capital is failing against the US dollar and we don't want y'all to move it. Second thing is, I'm going to get on conspiracy theory here. Let's be clear. Whenever I talk about violence and stuff like that, it's not that I want this stuff to happen. I'm for it. And I know sometimes children are watching too, and some of you might try to shield them. No, they need to know the real world is a real world. So when I'm about to say, I don't say to say, I hope this is happening. Hopefully it isn't happening. Everybody's doing business on the up and up. But through experiences, once again, from what I've seen in this industry, I told you all before, there's some real gangsters in this industry, people. And whether it's an actual doing some street level stuff or corporate level stuff, it's going to be very interesting to see a country like Brazil and their government, right? Because I'm breaking this down for a reason. We're not talking about every citizen. We're talking about the government that's in power and probably only about 20 or 30 of them max. So we're talking about, let's say, 30 people. We're talking about 30 people who are talking crazy against Tether. If I was in charge of Tether, how much is Tether? What's the market cap of Tether now? How much capital do they have? Really? Y'all coming at me publicly trying to ban me from your country? Let's play ball then. Like, we're gonna play ball. I'm sending lawyers your way. I'm sending who's the next person in line to be president or something. Like, I'm about to fund the election. Like, oh, I'm about to get the meddling. I am about to get, if this is one of my, and it says didn't they say Brazil's a big stablecoin market? Let me roll that back. Hold on. They said, yeah, Brazil's the second largest market for stablecoin transactions. So you're talking about cutting out a part of my market share? I'm not gonna be able to feed my kids. But hey, what we doing, Brazil? Hey, I got mouths to feed. You know what I'm saying? I'm tethered. I got mouths to feed. My point is, this is another place of crypto where we see the movie come out, where it's just like, is Tether going to lay down and look at one of their largest markets and say, hey, I guess they don't want us there anymore, guys? They said, people got till next, till 2 months. They gave everybody 2 months during the holiday season to make comments. I guess we're not welcome. We should pack up and go home. Or does Tether bite down and say, nah, it's not going to go like that? And if they do bite down and say it's not going to go like that, I don't know. The Super Bowl is coming up. Will it be another helicopter crash? I don't know. For those who missed it, last year, a Nigerian bank president who was something's going on in crypto and what was allowed and who don't know, he got killed in a helicopter crash out here in California during the Super Bowl. I think it was a Super Bowl, wasn't it? Y'all remind me. But my point is this is going to happen again? Will we see another heart attack? Who forgot that? 2017, 2018, like 9 different heart attacks in crypto, all people prominent positions. It was super crazy when that was happening, right? So I don't know, but what I do know is that, again, this is 30 people probably in a government going against a multi-billion dollar multinational company now who has ties with almost every government and large player organization on the planet. And y'all gonna try to cut them out of market and it's just gonna go like that? It ain't went like that in this market yet. I haven't seen it go that smooth yet, so I don't expect to see it now. But regardless, it's going to make for some interesting news stories. I'm sure we'll be on the lookout for this February 28th. This is Brazil seeking stricter rules for stablecoin transactions. It's aligning with the Brazilian government's push to increase oversight of the foreign exchange market and regulate Brazilian capital abroad. Again, it's so many, and this is why this stuff is so interesting to me. I'm gonna say this before I call it a day. I gotta get out. It's so many different ways to play this. Like I said, they get, like, regardless, Tether's probably gonna fight. They've been fighting everybody in this space already who's come at them. So I don't see Tether laying down. Whether they fight fair or not, who knows? But they're going to fight. So that's one thing. But the second is just like it will be interesting to see what countries back who, right? And what I mean is some countries or who are Brazil's friends or not even friends, like for the United States, for example, who maybe like this isn't our ace boon coon, but yeah, we've been trying to figure out how to kind of like ban and restrict transactions too. So maybe we'll watch them. If Tether does anything too crazy or oversteps their bounds too much, we'll make sure we'll put them. No, we'll have the American government to put Tether in check. Like, oh, you're just a company. Why are you trying to bully this country over here? Like, we'll make sure this country, if they want to have this election where this stuff is going to be minimized, restricted, it's going to go through if we're their friend. On the flip side, let's say right now, I don't know, let's say a country is doing trade talks with Brazil and all of a sudden they're getting a new tariff, right? Where it's like, oh, y'all not playing ball or y'all not playing fair? Let me help Tether. Maybe a country wants to help Tether push the press on Brazil and say, no, let's make sure they can't restrict these movements, whatever. And they go back to the Brazilian government. They're like, hey, yeah, we gave Tether an extra $10 million to do a marketing campaign here to all your citizens to get private wallets and to vote on February 28th against this. Like, so there's so many different political things that play on the back end because, again, this is the second largest market share of stable coins. You're out of your mind if you don't think there ain't about to be no plays getting made in the background. Billions of dollars are at stake for one quick vote. What? It is about to get super interesting in Brazil. Like I said, be on the lookout for car crashes, helicopter crashes, and heart attacks. It could strongly come. It could possibly come. I hope not. Like I said, I hope everybody's playing fair. But just what we see, it could be what it is. They talk about self-custody here. Brazilian real is collapsing. That's the real problem. No pun intended. And Brazil is one of the key stablecoin markets. All things to make this a firebed of excitement and explosion once this vote gets closer. Again, I don't think it's going to go down without a hitch, but we'll see around February. Other than that is the show for the day. Let me go ahead and look at some quick comments to see what we got. Comments is rolling in. What up, though? Everybody up in here going crazy. Let me see some comments. All right. XRP is flying. Also tap into H-bar. Is H-bar back up? Listen, H-bar had a bunch of corporate sponsorships. It wouldn't surprise me either. They want their money back as well. Who else do we have? I sold most of my XRP bag. Got a little left. I'm selling at $4.20, $4.60 limit. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. What else do we have? Ripple helped create other countries' CBDC, so it's not in competition, in my opinion. And that's why I agree with you as well. Ripple is the architect of other countries' CBDCs. That is very true. And as long as they continue to do that, I mean, they'll always how much they're getting paid just to show other countries to do a CBDC. So they'll still be in business with that alone for sure. Word on the streets is Democrats are pumping XRP to dump because they lost the election and want to hurt those who like crypto and big T. Okay. Listen, I've heard crazier ones. That's a good one. Let's see. iCoin, you said sus. Well, it's still been working. So, yeah, so it's still been working for me. I still have the iCoin wallet. You said no content, no community. I'm not sure what's going on with the content or community part, but as far as the back end stuff, It has been working. They have like left things open for people to look at as well. If you are very curious and you're a cybersecurity expert, I'm sure if you actually hit them up, they'll probably be willing or open to you looking at some things, which would be like a free thing for them, and then you can kind of satisfy your needs. But so far, so good for me. And it's been years in as well. You have to remember too, when it comes to some of these projects and stuff, we're just getting a pump. So for some people, they haven't had any type of cycle, and not just iCoin, but any other. I mean, think about when I think about iCoin, and I'm with you on this. I'm leery of everything, but when I think about iCoin, I think about Ledger as well. Like Ledger has this like, you all haven't seen some of the stuff behind the scenes I've seen with some of the people. I can't get too deep, so I'll be giving up people positions. But I just know about some of the different business deals and marketing campaigns that go on. And some of them be looking super shaky and scammy to me, even at the level of Ledger. I mean, hell, back in 2017, I think at the World Bitcoin Conference or whatever in Vegas, Ledger had the double D's out front. They had, I'm not sure they had the Lamborghinis, but they definitely had the double D's out front of their booth. So it wasn't about technology and crypto and wallets by themselves. They had some good spokespersons too, but they had some double D's out there as well. So, but no, I'm with you, Satoshi. So far so good, but I get you. Everything is kind of like always like sketch or not, but we'll get them back on the show. Might be time to get them back on the show, get them forward facing so you can ask them questions themselves. Let's say you said you watched the oh, you just Hyman said you just watched the episode where the guy tricked me by asking, have ever been a hitchhiker? And I said no until he mentioned Uber. Jake said tipping culture is crazy. It's like drill rap. I had to know. Yeah, tipping culture is crazy now, man. And what's even crazier about tipping culture, it's happening in positions where it's like, you're not supposed to be here for a career. Like, and this, I can talk about that shit. I didn't work like every job in America, people. I didn't mow lawns, server, like a Chick-fil-A for years. I didn't work to all these places. And never at any of those places had I been in a position and said, I will be in the same position in this same building in the next 30 years or 10 years or 20 years. That is your fault. That is not the company's fault. This is crazy. Yeah. Tipping culture is crazy. Also, by the way, if you become good at whatever it is you're doing, I go back to waiters and servers. I want to make sure I'm clear. I never down regular working people, because you can become great and wealthy in a regular job. People at the nice restaurants, the maitre d's, which is basically the top server, the top servers, they don't get tips. They have them, don't accept it. They get paid crazy because the restaurant's doing good, because the service is doing good, right? Like, so it's one of those things like if you're reaching the top of the top, you're going to be fine. All right. Let's see. He said, then he asked if I ever opened a bank account in the state of Ohio. And I said, no. And he said, I had Cash App. Who was this person? I got to see this. Email and digital marketing said, what is up, King? Just saw your spot on Fidelity on Prime. Yes. Hey, shout out to Fidelity. Listen, I tell people I talk crazy, but my resume is real. I worked with all the top 100 companies still right now. I got NDAs with literally, like, I would say 50% of the top 100 companies right now. Let's see. What else do we have going on? Yeah, all right. We're gonna have to get iCoin on here. I'll reach out to him this week and see when we get him on the schedule, because you all are asking my iCoin. Let's get him on here. Let's see. People were drowning out of nowhere a few years ago. I remember that. Right. Some of the people who went missing in crypto, we know how that was. It was crazy. It was crazy in crypto. Get a VPN and get on some of these margin trading exchanges and send it there and send it back to a wallet you never use. So I'm assuming, I only caught a little bit of it, but I'm assuming somebody was asking essentially how to make those moves. I can't see where someone asked, but yes, Jake answered the question. So I'm going to assume someone's asking about how to do this. But as he said, get you a VPN, a virtual private network, get on some of the margin trading websites. They change every 6 to 18 months. So while one might be good today, it could be trash in 3 months, could be trash in half a year next year. But yes, get a VPN, get on those platforms with a wallet that you make with a dump email address, something like I said, Proton Mail or something secure. Do your trades. You can send them back and forth to wherever wallets, and then get off, and boom, you're good. If you wanted to do that. And again, KYC free for sure. And always make sure whenever you're jumping on these platforms, people, quick tip, make sure you do small transactions first. Put $5 on. I know, listen, and I know it might cost you $20 to put $5 on, right? But wherever that minimum is, $10, $15, put that small amount on, do a couple of transactions, swap on there, swap out, trade out, The win, lose, it doesn't matter. This is all the testing. And then try to send it back to your wallet. So oftentimes before you even get on and do some trades and transactions, it might be a whole hour thing where you need to do some testing to make sure everything's good. So keep that in the back of your head. Margin trading exchanges. Yeah, that might be something good to cover soon. Then I'll keep that on the list of something to cover soon. Oh, appreciate that, CJ, the smart guy. Listen, I'm actually thinking about going to the Super Bowl this year. Probably not. This is me just talking to me and being wishful thinking. But I do go to New Orleans damn near every year. For those who know me, know I love New Orleans. They had some of the best for the United States. And mustard. That's all I want to do. I want to go to New Orleans. I've never been so excited for a halftime show. Mustard. Hey, listen, for everyone who says that new Kendrick Lamar city is trash, like you're just not in LA, okay? I get it. If I weren't in LA, I probably wouldn't appreciate it the same. But in LA, the beats, this is the most LA it gets right now. And like, this has been a great year for Los Angeles. All right, other than that, that is the show for the day. Smash that like and share. I'll see you all tomorrow with some more